Okay, so obviously it's summer and whatever. I got the fan going, so it's pretty hot, and hopefully you can hear me speaking over the loud fan. And I'm speaking pretty much into the computer's speaker because I don't have a mic or whatever. So I figure I might as well just make a rant video about this because it's been a popular thing, and it's something that I've always had an interest in. This is a cryptid rant. This is about cryptozoology, and this is honestly some theories and thoughts I have on the infamous so-called dog man. You know, people have heard of Bigfoot, but dog man is a thing few people, not few, but less people seem to know about. Obviously, if you're into cryptozoology, you know what the dogman is. Most like, especially in this year, you know what it is already. But okay, I have some thoughts on it. And not bad thoughts, like most people, just thoughts, things that just seem to make a lot of sense. So you hear these videos, you hear about this dog man, you hear certain attributes about its appearance, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. To me, it makes a lot of sense. I'm just gonna go straight into it. I'm not gonna draw this out. So I was playing this game, believe it or not, and there's this character I believe is John Talbane. It's a werewolf from a game called Darkstalkers or Night Warriors. I'll repeat it again. The character's name is John Talbane, and it is from Darkstalkers or Night Warriors, whatever version of the game you're playing. And when you look at this character, now I know there's someone out there who actually has witnessed because there's different types. They don't all look the same. These dog men, they don't all look the same. But I know that the ones that have the really bushy back, like their back literally has a bunch of hair on it, and I mean this hair is like unbelievably thick and bushy and layered on their back, almost making it look like they have this enormous like hump of a back, but it's really just a lot of hair. And they have like a thinner snout. They tend to have like, for whatever reason, like most dogs actually do, they have a very short bicep area, but then they have a very long forearm area where their forearms are just unbelievably long. Their hands are unbelievably large, kind of in like proportion. And they have like a dog's leg and a very bushy tail and seem to almost hop around like like a kangaroo, almost like a hop to them because of the way the legs are shaped. I know there's people out there that have seen exactly what I just saw. I mean, not what I saw with myself, but what I just described. Okay, now the funny thing is this character, they when they made this character, I don't think they were trying to like make this character seem like a hyper realistic creature or something that could possibly exist that's hyper realistic. But if you really look at this character and you really look at it, I'm not talking about the coloration, the goofy blue color. I'm talking about just the bone structure, the position, the posture, when the character starts crawling around. If you really look at it, I'm pretty sure some people will get chills up their spine that have witnessed these things before. Okay, and the thing about me is I've never witnessed one of these dog men per se myself, but I've heard people's accounts of it. And I've seen dogs and I've seen people. And I've studied people's anatomy and animals' anatomy for years. And looking at this little game character moving around, I'm like, oh my god, like I could totally see something like that moving around. And I have a very vivid imagination, so it's easy a lot of times for me to envision something, even if it's something I have not seen, if I have enough references in my mind. And literally, I'm looking at this character, and aside from all the goofy stuff it's doing, just the general crawling around, the subtlety of it when it, the subtlety of this character or sprite's movements, and I'm like, that is a dog man right there. That there is a dog man. Not it's a certain one of the varieties of them at least. I'm like, they must not have. I know they couldn't have done that on purpose, but this werewolf character, I mean, that is a dog man straight up and down. That is a dog man. You know, that's what I think every time when I see it. I'm like, that's one of those dog things that people talk about, that you hear in these cryptid rants and all this stuff. And especially the thing about I have to say, the arms. The way the arms of this character look, that is a straight up dog man. That's a dog man. The big shoulders, the short bicep and tricep area, but then the long forearms. That is a dog man, straight up and down. I will say it again. And I also, this is something I have to go into about how now, it may sound weird to some people, but it would sound not so weird to some other people, depending on your background and things you know about. So I'm thinking, okay, so whatever these things are, whatever these dog men are, and I don't think that they're all bad. I think they're more just like any other animal or person or race or species of something, where they are individually have their personalities, but they are very primitive, and some of them are straight up evil and psychotic, and then some are pretty much just easygoing people who obviously are hunters, obviously are predators because they're canine. Obviously, these creatures are very dangerous, and this is something I noticed too about this dog man, which is kind of very threatening and scary about it. I noticed so you think of yourself as a person, right? Obviously, you don't have to be some experienced martial artist or know so much about self-defense, but you might carry like a pocket knife or something for self-defense. And you know how easy it is to stick someone with that knife. Okay? Now, you look at something like this with these teeth in this long snout, and it's got these claws on its feet, on its hands, that honestly, really, in reality, it might sound brutal and scary, but it's the truth, could flay somebody very quickly. Could flay other animals. It could flay its darn self with those type of claws. I mean, those are the type of claws that can literally slit open throats, stomachs. I mean, it's no joke. Extremities. It's pretty much just a swipe. It's pretty much a drag and a swipe, a grab and a swipe, and it's over, and something is split open. It's very dangerous. A creature like that is very dangerous. And if you were trying to go up against that hand to hand, good luck to you is my thing, because the thing is, one little slip up, and could you only imagine that this thing is probably several feet taller than you. It could be 8 to 9 feet, depending on how big this thing is. It's no match. It's literally just a joke. It's literally like you're trying to fight someone who is armed with knives, and they have you outsized. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. To think of how dangerous physically one of these things would be without having any real weapons. Just being a natural predator and hunter that has more human-like attributes to itself. It's a nightmare. It's a literal nightmare. Not, I wouldn't say morally, but I'm saying physically, to try to oppose something like that, especially unarmed. And you don't know what type of skills this thing has either. That's the thing. You don't know what type of intelligence or skills this thing has. Because you gotta think, if this thing has been bringing down friggin' buffalo, who knows what the heck this thing is? This thing could have been brought down bears. You don't know whatever type of skills this thing has, or level of intelligence. Because if these things are extraterrestrial or whatever nature they have, and they are, who knows if they are intelligent as people, but just from a different environment with limited technology. Who knows what they could possibly have trained. It you just don't you don't you don't know what this thing is really capable of, or thinking, or what it has done before. And it kind of seems to me like you're looking at something to where you're going to get not only the snot be out of you, but you're going to get mauled and you're going to bleed to death and you're going to get probably eaten or severely mutilated and mauled in most likely seconds. It's going to be horrible. It's it's like it's like when you think of someone getting attacked by a bear and they have to try to play dead, and then after they're just like hanging on for dear life, just thankful that they made it. That's what I think of when I look at a creature like this. Just one look at it, you can just tell. It's like, okay, I get it. This is something. This is something absolutely dangerous and terrifying. And that's what I think the whole mystique is about. I mean, you see these werewolf movies, all this bull crap, all these alien sci-fi monster movies. That's really what it's about. It's about these. It's always about some predator that's just so human and yet so animal that you're outmatched and you're gonna die. And then somehow in the movie someone doesn't die. But with all that being said, um, I would honestly speculate that this thing is just an apex predator. It's an apex predator. It is an extreme apex predator. It could even possibly be some type of soldier in its class or ranks or whatever planet this thing is even from. In its upbringing, it could be some type of guardian, some type of guard, some type of tracker. It could be a hunter, a tracker, a warrior. It could literally just be in their, I guess, I don't know what to call it. Their system of like what they recognize. It could just be a general, just as a person, a civilian. It could be a mother. It could be an adolescent, a child, an elderly being. You just don't know. But one thing that stands out to me about these dogmen creatures is when you really look at it, it's not so. Nothing is so otherworldly or super about it at all. It is simply just a creature who is very much akin to what you may call human or hominid and is very much canine at the same time. So, what you get is exactly what you're looking at now. These pictures, these cartoony John Talbane Darkstalker, that's what you get. It I think in the minds of a human being what happens is for some reason it is so outlandish for you to really even imagine that you don't want to believe it. But this is the truth of the matter. It just is. It exists, they're real. Just live with it. Just like, for instance, if for all you racists out here, and I'm gonna say it, for all you racists out here, and I'm a black man, look, we're free. Black men are free, black women are free, blacks are free, we're no longer slaves. Okay? Someday I will marry a white woman. Okay, because I'm not really so much into black women. Does that offend you? Maybe. But guess what? It's reality. We're free. We're among you. We interbreed with you. And that's the way it is. It's the same thing. You just got to accept that this is a reality. These things are real. They're on this planet. For whatever reason, it's a thing. It's a thing. It is what it is. I don't know any other way to slice it. You know. And I think when you can come to the point when you can just, because there are people who witness these things and they're in denial. They don't want to believe that they even saw this thing. Okay, but the thing is this, is that you have to believe that you can make things okay, that life can still be okay. And you have to understand that even in some time in the future, who knows? Maybe we could even coexist with these things. Who knows? But you have to start with accepting that this is real. These things are real. These dog men are real. I've heard people say, "Oh, they belong to the devil." Man, you don't even know what you're talking about. And it wouldn't even matter. That's another thing you're going to have to accept. You're going to have to accept the fact of what you call demonic or you call the devil or satanic. You're going to have to accept that it's been here, it will always be here. It has established its place here on this earth, and it always will be. And you will live alongside of it. And you already are. That's the thing. You don't know it, but you already are. You just have to accept it. You know, you can have your own spiritual beliefs, you can do whatever you want, but it would help you better if you were to just accept the truth and you were to take away some perceived notions that are not really true and accept that what is just is, okay? And that what is on this earth is here for a reason, and it's not gonna go away because you don't like it. It's here to stay. It's just like homosexuals. You have to understand that there are people out there that aren't like you, and some people are just homosexual and they have their own lifestyle and they ain't going nowhere. No one's going to look. No one that is so-called abnormal, paranormal, even whatever. No, we're not going anywhere. No, we're not going anywhere. Okay, no race of people or being or sexual persuasion. Nobody's going anywhere, man. You got to understand that you're just going to have to live and integrate with the society. There are things that I don't like about society, and there are people that annoy me, but guess what? I understand they're here for a reason, and I will just have to live alongside them. It just is what I don't care. It just is what it is, you know. And even I'll even further go to say that I will take it a step further and learn to coexist with them because what's it going to really benefit me if I think that it's anything else? You know, that's what I'm trying to say, man. So I also have to say, see, I always have this saying that like what a man might imagine probably already exists, even if it's a little outlandish seeming to him, and deep down he may not truly believe that something exists until he actually sees it, but he may have imagined it, even made an image of it already, and then he finds out that it exists. You know, that's what I feel like with a lot of these sci-fi things that they have in these movies. It's like you could be an artist and you could draw a little cartoon werewolf or cartoon dog or whatever you're drawing. But guess what? There are things out there that are like that. There are things out there. I'll say it again. There are things out there. I don't mean out at the 7-Eleven in your neighborhood. I don't mean that. I mean out in the remote areas where people don't go as much. There are beings, there are things out there like that. And it doesn't mean that they're so crazed that they want to kill everything they see and that literally you're just going to go missing if you ever see one. You know, no, they might just be going about their business. But trust me, they are there. And they have always been there. And they ain't going nowhere. That's the thing. They ain't going nowhere. Just like your human self isn't going nowhere, they ain't going nowhere. So you might as well just accept it. You know, you may want to just get an interest in it and do some research, but they ain't going nowhere. Ain't nothing going nowhere. Okay? The mosquitoes, as annoying as they are, that bite us all the time, they ain't going nowhere. Okay? So, with that being said, I want people to listen to this and just think. If you don't believe in these things, you don't believe. But people that you know these things exist, just and maybe you're a little weary or you don't want to accept this, just accept it. I don't care how much you have to bawl and cry and like have a midlife crisis. Just you're gonna have to come to a point of acceptance because you're only hurting yourself fighting what is simply what nature needs to do and lets you just accept the truth and accept what is. Okay? So I think I'm gonna cut the rant at that and pretty much, you know, this character, I'm only using these images because I think this character depicts very well, in a way, some of the things that are literally out there that people would not almost even imagine exist. But this depicts it very well. Minus, you know, the goofy outfit and the goofy colors, you know. So, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. You will find this video in the rant section I don't think I'm going to put this in kid-friendly gaming because even though I think this rant may be kid-friendly enough, kind of, I don't think everyone should hear this. I don't think everyone is ready to hear this. So I'll put it just in rants, and enjoy your day, and have a good one.